Hello, Gorringes are online and on view for our inaugural silver jewellery and watches auction. And in the past, we did this as part of our fine sales, but now these are standalone auctions. In their own right, got their own online flip catalogue that you should have a good look through because it's well worthwhile. And here I'm going to talk to you about some of the highlights. So, silver, over 150 lots. I picked out a few things just to share with you. Let's start with lot 109. Here they are, a pair of these Chinese sort of archaic shape silver ornaments essentially. Silver gilt inside. One of them, both of them, have an ancient silver wedding presentation inscription to Henry and Winnie from back in the day. These look to date to the early part of the 20th century. Estimate on those, £400 to £600. Interesting things, nice things. Chinese buyers will certainly be looking at those, so the price will always be contested. Lot 64, moving to another part of the world. These Russian enamels are always so pretty. This enamel decoration set here into a very dinky cigarette box, or cigarette case rather. You can see where the elastic straps stood inside the case. It's date marked with a late 19th century, 1890s date from memory. Just a nice thing, very heavy and solid, beautifully put together, very appealing in colouring. And not everything Russian is popular these days, but these remain consistently so. Moving forwards in time to some degree, lot 88. Here we are, Edwardian arts and crafts. We look at this. Those in the know immediately think Guild of Handicrafts. Charles Robert Ashby, the maker designer, leading one of the leading voices in the movement of arts and crafts. And here is one of these classic sort of porringer cups set with a green cabochon gem. A real purity of design there. Pleasing thing. That's lot 88, 1,500 to 2,000 estimate. Otherwise, within silver, you'll find all sorts of domestic things such as sauce boats and entree dishes, but here's one that is perhaps a bit more exciting to use. This rather splendid object, lot 117, is effectively a cocktail shaker. It's a properly good one. I mean, I'm looking forward to Negronis from this. Where should it be mine? It's stamped to the underside. It's stamped sterling. We know it's American. It has this interesting inscription around the top saying Capronia, which certainly, you know, a fairly thorough Google search does not bring up any other examples like it, which suggests this could be unique, which would make it rather special. You've got a great big lovely cork stopper here to keep your booze contained. And then these two rotating dragon heads are going to be pourers. So you'll be able to pour the 4.5 pints it contains of Negroni into the glasses. Yeah, so splendid thing, lovely decoration of the fish around it with the spears and what have you. Super thing that. Lot 117, estimate £1,200 to £1,800. So there's a selection of silver. All sorts of other things for you to consider. Have a look at the flip catalogue, have a look online. Watches. 30, 40 lots of watches in the sale, mostly wristwatches. Of course, Rolex gets talked about an awful lot, and lot 160, there's several in the sale. 160, there's a ladies, 18 karat gold, date just. Got a few spare links, so if one needs to make it a little bit bigger, one can. £2,500 to £3,000 estimate. This one doesn't have box and papers. There's a lot of talk about Rolexes. To some extent, the market really did go quite ballistic. It has calmed down now and remains solid and steady. But a lot of people are starting to think, what could I buy that maybe isn't quite so ubiquitous, maybe something a bit different? So here's a few select thoughts for you. Tudor. The lesser brand associated with Rolex, but still respected in its own right. And here's a nice example in good, clean condition. The black dial's nice. The Tudor rose at the top is fun. It's a self-winding movement, stainless steel, far less expensive than the Rolex. Estimate £500 to £700. Otherwise, other makes well worth considering. And for you're buying gold now, but for the price of lesser metals in other makes. So this is a universal in 18 karat pink gold. Just a nice, smart, restrained wristwatch. Exactly the sort of thing that's not overly in fashion at the moment, which almost certainly means it will be soon. That's lot 174. Estimate 3 to 5 seems a bit modest to me. I can see that going on a bit more. Lot 180 now, Omega. Whilst Rolex seems to have sort of perhaps peaked for the time being, Omega still seems to be on the rise, with more people buying into the brand and looking to add to their collections. Here's a relatively modern Omega in 18 karat gold, fully automatic. Nice thing, lovely condition again, lot 180. We're looking at sort of £800 to £1,200 there. And last but not least, something properly niche and unusual, lot 183. This is a ladies' Cartier driver's watch. The idea being that when it sits on your wrist with the dial orientated in that way, you can tell the time whilst you're holding the steering wheel. Because obviously ladies always have both hands on the steering wheel and never doing anything else.
Timing themselves.
Yes. So it does. It's not a split-second chronograph,
No.
but they can check if they're late, I suppose. So nice thing, that lovely look, the reverse winder there, all signed up with its numbering and what have you. Lot 183, estimate 1,000 to 1,500. Very few of these have come onto the market, so keep an eye on that because it may well go on a bit more. So that brings us on to jewellery. Really good selection of jewellery. Well over 200 lots, I think I'm right in saying, of jewellery. And starting, I mean, you'd always...
Where do you start?
I would start at the beginning with the earlier things. So the lower lots, starting around about lot 185, are the older pieces, which appeal to me, but that's perhaps because I'm not a jewellery wearer, but I sort of admire the quality and the intrigue of some of it. So I do like boxes. We like opening up boxes and seeing what's inside. Yes. And look at some of these lovely sort of treasures coming from within. It's a really lovely broad selection. So look, I popped that open. Look at that, lot 197. Lovely Victorian sapphire and diamond bracelet, and it's just a bit more delicate than usual with those little sort of strands up the sides. Then carrying across, let's peek in here. I think that's a bit of Fabergé. There's a little Fabergé bar brooch just tucked away within there. Sitting in front of it, lot 203. Not everything has to be expensive to be good, and this is really nice. Look at this. This is a micro mosaic bracelet. Egyptian revival influence, Carlo Giuliano influence. Lovely with these scarab beetles. Estimate £200 to £300. In front of that, lot 204. Look at that. Lovely, pretty little Victorian ring. Emeralds and diamonds. Good condition. Could almost not be worn the way, from as far as I can see from here. Really nice thing. So, and down in front here, lot 206, rather splendid emerald and diamond set. Pendant brooch. One can adapt now, he says that. This one is made with, as far as I can see, a fixed brooch pin, but it's possible that it is removable, and often they were, because it also has the suspension loop at the top, so that you can hang it and wear it as a pendant as well. And there we are, sitting in a box. Doesn't look like the original box, but a nice old box with it. So there's a selection of the earlier things, and then we step across in time. There's some rather splendid gold in the sale. How about this one? This is lot 272. Beautifully monogrammed, and it's not your ubiquitous cigarette box. Instead, we have a ladies compact with compartment for blusher or what have you sitting to one side. Let's pop that open. There we are. There would be the main, that would be the powder, wouldn't it? With the powder puff.
Is that a ruby cabochon?
Almost certainly, yes. This is 18 karat gold. It's a rather splendid thing. It's really good and solid. It's a lovely thing. Estimate 5,000 to 7,000. Down in front, beautiful quality again, lot 276. This one is continental gold, set with these amethysts, one missing. Little blue cabochon set to it. We pop it open again. It's another compact. Isn't that fabulous? So beautiful mirror. There's going to be a hinge compartment here. I'm not going to try and force it out from this angle. Here is where we pop up this another lovely blue cabochon for the powder compartment, and with this fab engraving all the way around and on its original chain. Lovely thing.
Absolutely beautiful.
So further on, something a little more stylish. So sort of 1960s single stone ring, very smart looking. Modest estimate, £200 to £300, but looking very contemporary. In front of it, these 5 colour bangles in 9 karat gold. Great thing about that, you're not having to pay the price of 18. If it were Cartier, huge money, but not signed. So just as gold bangles, a really nice thing to have, and a lovely variety of colours set within. Something more modern, George Jensen, the classic Danish silversmiths. We've got a number of pieces by Jensen. There's a nice little bracelet. That is lot 300, estimate £200 to £300. There's Jensen gold in front. Much more unusual, but a Jensen gold brooch there. The whole sale has quite an array of things to look at. There are some cufflinks tucked away in it. There's a fab pair by Longmar that we put on the front cover. So do have a really good look. Come along and have a view. Well worthwhile, because it's never quite the same when you look at it online. Some things look better, some things look worse. You come in and you look at these in the flesh, it's kind of a wow. There's a really good selection, and it's a really good lot. So if you're a trade buyer, there's plenty to come, and hopefully you'll pick up quite a number of lots. If you're a private buyer, collector, then there's a good selection to sort of pick and choose and decide which bit's really the one you want to go for. So should be a really good sale. Thank you for watching this. Any queries, drop us an email, give us a call. We'd be really happy to help. Thank you.